Welcome on back to Baseless Claims, our bi-weekly casual talk fest with topics and stories that we've stumbled upon in our lives, but we're always open for more topics, so go ahead and engage with us on Twitter or on this video or SoundCloud or wherever it's posted.
Engage with us, please. Become engaged to me.
And
please become. I'm like those weird people on Facebook who just message every girl.
Oh yeah.
I derail everything I'm a part of.
No. So here's the thing. Me and you, we cut off Taylor a lot, like an obscene amount, and we gotta stop doing that. So Taylor, you have the floor.
Okay. So yeah, if you have a topic like how much these two talk over me or how much I don't talk enough, go ahead and let us know, and we'll talk about it in the next podcast. And without further ado, the people in this podcast, to my right is Tori Thompson. He is a video editor and content creator who does just a whole smorgasbord of things.
I do, a buffet.
A buffet, if you will, from weddings to video game
You
content.
look like you've done a buffet.
To
I'm a big boy. Absolute unit.
to video documentary and so on and so forth. To my left is Tyler Matheson.
Hasn't done jack shit.
I was just going to say, don't give me an intro. I've done jack shit.
Nah, he's an audio engineer.
And I hate myself.
Oh, no.
And that's
aspiring
You
audio
missed-
engineer. Just such a, like,
What a
something
douchey thing to say.
Yeah, something about that is just so, like, demeaning.
An aspiring app creator.
We're already going back on
no,
our
you're
word.
fine. You're fine. It's fun, happy banter. He is a Gaudio engineer who makes the podcast sound all beautiful and stuff.
Damn.
And then
we gotta have nicknames for everyone. Gaudio himself, Tyler Matheson.
Gaudio.
Laugh track. Clap track.
We're not putting
Studio applause.
We're not putting that in.
Taylor, put it in.
Speaking of which, my name is Taylor. I am also a video editor and content creator for just a whole fuck ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly, I'm doing Tempo Storm work right now, but you can find all of my personal projects and stuff on YouTube and in the descriptions wherever this video and or podcast may be posted. Hello. How is everybody?
I'm good. How are you?
I wanted to interject when
I know you did.
when
It's pretty
when
hard
you were
to
saying,
resist.
If you think I don't talk enough, I was like, no one's ever said that. You start talking and people are like, let's wrap this up.
Thanks, Tyler. So
Wow, this is sad.
what'd you guys do today?
What did I do today?
Yeah, just to get the blood flowing on the topic.
I mean, mine is pretty boring. I just had I had class all day, and then I came home and I straightened up my house.
I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say I stroked my dick. You started with the S sound, and I was 100%
Immediately you're like,
there.
that's the only thing you could have been
Teased
doing.
the shaft.
Yeah. I am my own cock tease.
How about you, Tyler? How was your day?
I recorded some people early in the morning at like 1 in the morning.
Oh, right.
And then I got little to no sleep, and then I went to work, and a couple of my topics revolve around that.
All right,
And
great.
that's all I did today, and then I came here to just utter disappointment with you two.
That's about how it goes. What'd you do today?
I edited some stuff for Tempo before I came over here. I'm kind of going backwards. I had an appointment in the cities again today, and then the morning I kind of played video games and just talked to a bunch of people, like logistical stuff. I caught up on my D&D server that I'm part of, and just talked to some people.
Never played D&D.
It's real good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I want to play so
I
bad.
want to play too.
Oh, we should do a thing. We should
Start a campaign?
Yeah, we could. We honestly could do like a D&D
How many
show.
people do you need for a D&D
Because I feel like you need to
campaign?
have close friends because you need to be able to like
close good friends.
not be worried about doing
Yeah.
like a character like
Yeah.
all right, I'm my little dwarf druid or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you gotta be able to be like, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna do a voice. I'm gonna do the whole
And
9 yards.
And that's the beauty of D&D. You don't have to do that at all. It just supplements it. Like
That's
we
what I
have
would
we have a
think,
player
yeah.
in our campaign who doesn't do the voice. She just says like my character says this, and that's their way of role playing. So that's just about D&D. You can play it however you fucking want to.
What a
And-
lame way to have sex.
And
Come on, dude. They're not even married.
and for,
Like when God's watching, you gotta. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Play
for-
nice in the bedroom.
And for the amount of people that you need for a campaign, we could easily do a campaign just the three of us. our DM would have to kind of, shape the campaign around that. Just like 3 people, but it's definitely doable.
Could we go through the woods in search of a dragon?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
A
in.
small campaign.
Then I'm in.
Yeah, we could do a one-shot campaign for like a video. That'd be fun.
How about 12 shots campaign
Okay.
where we
get liquored up.
we get liquored up real good. One shot tease
Good
is
and
gonna be a
plenty.
good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
You're gonna make one-shot Taylor do 10 shots.
Oh God, I don't even want to see that. Taylor, do you have a topic?
Well, we're already talking about D&D, and I actually have that down on the topic sheet.
Go for it,
So
then.
We can go for it.
I just didn't want to get too sidetracked for like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
that'd be us.
So you mean this podcast?
True.
I don't know. D&D's real fun. I was invited to this campaign that I'm a part of, and it was like, all right, we've done our character creation, everything. Haha, this is going to be fun. And then like 3 sessions in, I was like, fuck, why did I not start doing this in high school? It is so much fun.
Had you ever played before?
We tried as our like little nerd group in high school at like lunch, but we were all goofballs, and it was like an hour of time, so we didn't even get past character creation. We were just being goofy and shitty, so we never really got anywhere with it.
So how did you get started then?
My friend Mitch.
Mitch! Mr.
Mitch.
Ooh,
We got
I'm
that
so
sword
cool.
hanging now, Mitch, in case we ever need quick access to fucking run it through
Come at us,
you.
Mitch.
We have a literal sword.
He started this.
No.
Mitch.
He sold you out.
Anyway, Mitch was playing D&D online.
Of course he was. Fucking loser dork.
Wow. He was he was playing D&D online with a group, and just really fell in love with it. So he wanted to do his own campaign with some of his other buddies.
Are you guys doing it online?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So
That
there's this.
seems
There's a website called Roll20, and I'll show it to you real quick.
that seems counterintuitive though.
No, like I thought so as well. And honestly, I prefer like face-to-face contact for like a game like this. But the way Roll20 works is you do all of your character sheets, all of your like stats and everything are on like a digitalized version of it. So if you were to like level up and gain a spell, all you have to do is search it and drag and drop it into your character sheet without having to like write down anything.
Oh, I guess
or,
that
like,
does
calculate anything.
That does
with
streamline
rolls.
a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
But again, I've never played.
I'd rather have an old-timey notebook and write down
A legal
list
pad.
of spells.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
you can do that for sure.
Wingardium
It just
Leviosa.
like streamlines everything. So if you look at my character sheet here,
Holy
if I
shit.
was to roll like Mitch can be like, we'll set up an example like I am running through the woods chasing after a bandit,
Yeah.
and Mitch is like, you have 2 choices. You can either continue on foot or do some sick trick off of a tree and catch him off guard by cutting him off.
Yeah.
You can
Be like-
parkour.
Yeah,
Hardcore parkour.
And normally-
roll.
and normally, like, you can just come up with these on your own. You can just be like, I want to go after the perpetrator and, like, do a sick flip off of a tree.
Yeah.
And then Mitch, as the DM, can decide what stat that would be. So I'm just assuming it would be an athletics check for that, right? So on Roll20, I just scroll over the word athletics on my character sheet, click it, and it rolls it for me. And then Mitch can check his numbers out and see if that roll succeeds. So there's no, like...
It's a lot more complicated than I originally thought it was going to be.
Yes, but it's not as complicated as looking at your character sheet, seeing a number, grabbing that many dice, rolling them, and then figuring out
That's
what
fair.
your DM rolls and everything. It just
Yeah.
kind of streamlines the process. And then we all talk on Discord.
Oh, right. Yep.
To,
I
like,
mean, you could
guys
just do it face-to-face, but with this.
yeah, with this, because we have one player
That
that's
would be
in,
fantastic.
yeah, we have one player that's in California who hangs out with us regularly for our D&D session.
Cool.
And that's the group that Mitch initially started playing D&D with, was a group predominantly out of California.
I had one like trial session when I was going to
A
play
dry run, if you will.
a dry spell. Sorry, dry run. And it was one of my good friend's brothers, and this was like a long time ago. I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade, and the brother was maybe a sophomore or junior in high school, and him and all his friends were going to play, and we're like, oh, like let us play and stuff. So we spent probably 3 hours creating characters, and then when we were playing, every time we did something, they'd just be like, so we stumble into this old tower. There's a man sleeping. He's the man who killed Jason's wife or whatever. And I'd be like, I run in and I stab my sword up his ball or like up his butthole, and it like comes out his mouth. And they're like, come on, dude, you can't don't do that, man. Like, come on. Like, they're trying to play it so seriously. And I was like, and then I jump out the window and I scuttle off and I laugh. And they're like, dude, come on.
Yeah, like some
roll
GMs.
for scuttle and laugh. they kicked us out after we created the characters. They kicked us out in probably like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
they were like, you guys can't do this with us. I was like, fuck.
Some campaigns and some DMs will let you do that and just let shit happen, right? Mitch is really thoughtful and creative in his story, so we're really indulging in it, and we're not trying to be,
I disagree with that. I think Mitch is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, you've never met
You heard
him.
me, Mitch.
You've
He's
never met
my
him.
least favorite person.
And I won't.
No.
Anyway.
No, you won't. Just
He's really
pull out a detonator. Goodbye, Mitch.
He's
probably freaked out on the toilet right now.
Yeah, he set up a really cool world and storyline with a bunch of really neat characters to like kind of mesh with our own.
Yeah.
Like my character, we met up with this like tyrant queen who was stealing children for like a workforce or whatever, right? And she was a fucking badass, and we couldn't touch her. And she came over to my character specifically. She gave everybody a curse, but she came over to my character and like grabbed my head and just like kind of did this number, and then my eyes like got like fucked up with like a curse. And now my character has a removable eye that I could just like take out of my face and like throw and like see where it goes, like through the eye and everything.
Weird.
It's fucked up.
It's pretty neato.
So you can
That
really
is
do
cool.
anything.
Yeah,
That's cool.
You can literally do anything. Like, it's a game of imagination for imagination. As gay as a tagline as that is.
I feel like that's because it's very much stigmatized as being like the really nerdy thing to do, but I feel like that's a really good test of creation. I mean, we talked about last episode about how like I feel like school kind of breeds out creativity and they try to kind of get rid of it, but I feel like that's a really good test of like you are creating this world from the ground up right now. Like there are some basic lore things you can follow and everything, but like depending on who you're playing with, if they don't care, like you can kind of do anything.
Exactly.
From what from what I've heard and everything. So I think that's a really interesting, sort of dynamic where it's just a bunch of friends. Like let's all be really creative and play off each other.
Yeah.
It's
kind of, the more I think about it, the more it feels like those playground days where you were just coming up with random shit on the playground and running around.
Like, I'm a
pretending to be
cowboy
people.
and
Yeah.
I have a big shotgun that can.
I have a shield.
Yeah.
And you have that one douche who's like, no, you didn't hit me. You didn't hit me. It went past me.
Yeah,
It brushed my shirt.
I had a metal leg, so it doesn't even affect me.
It's kind of like that, but more structured and with dice.
Oh, I'm out.
Dice?
Dice freak me
I'm
out.
a cards man for life.
Oh, there are other role-playing games with different things than dice. Like there's a game called Dread where you use a Jenga tower.
Are you Judge Dredd?
No.
Damn. Sly Stallone, come on the podcast. I know you're watching.
So, in Dread, I played a campaign of Dread not too long ago. Do you know Corey Fern? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was running that one, and it's Dread is a horror RPG where like your character's in like a horror movie scenario, and every time you want to do something, you pull a piece of the Jenga tower out. And if the tower falls, your character dies.
That's really
It's
that's really interesting.
It's so stressful. Like,
That's like using the literal, like I say game mechanics and that seems like a video game thing, but it's like using the actual like real world mechanics and physics of that to instill real tension and fear.
Yep.
That's actually
What a good idea.
It is so clever.
That's
like,
good,
We
yeah.
had a moment in that campaign. It was kind of like a Saw scenario where we're all like in a trap and like just fighting for our lives or whatever, where we were all getting pulled in towards a singular saw blade. And each time you pulled one, Corey made this like, you pull back and just like out of the reach of the saw for now, but it keeps pulling. And like we did that around the circle of like 6 people. And like for some fucking reason, we all turned into Jenga gods, and we were at that
when
one
you're fighting
tower.
for your life.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
at that one tower. I shit you not, for 20 minutes, and
Damn.
every time someone pulled it out, it was silent. Right?
Yeah.
it's just silent.
Someone should have had a saw
Silent.
blade like audio clip just running the
He did,
entire
he
time.
did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
So we're just pulling it out. It's silent. It's silent. It's silent. It's silent. And then as soon as it leaves the tower and it stands up, people were like,
Yeah.
all the noises were happening. It was like shh, 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 shh. And then you carefully place it on top, and then people lose their fucking minds as the
Yeah.
next person has to go. Oh, it's nuts.
Yeah, I feel like I really missed out on
Yeah.
tabletop gaming.
Me too, honestly. There's so many good.
It's
tabletop
such a
games.
classic thing to do.
Yeah. Have you ever played Settlers of Catan?
No.
Let's just do a board gaming shit on the channel, every
Yeah,
once in a
that's
while.
fine.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, let's
I
do
would
it.
do it absolutely. We
We'd have
just
to
set up
come
the
up
camera,
with
do
Yeah, we'd have to come up with a camera setup.
But I think I have a topic that kind of goes
in here would actually work for
yeah,
camera setup.
Yeah.
it would. But I have a topic kind of going along with that whole horror thing, which is, what is the scariest thing that has ever happened to you?
Are we talking jump scary or just terrifying?
Fear.
All
just
of the
moment
above.
of fear.
Moments of pure fear.
I had one the other day. It's not the scariest one, but I don't keep the light on in my computer room when I'm editing at night. And one night I was just, editing along or whatever, and I caught a glint of something under my desk. And I kind of did this number, and then I saw two globes just staring at me. And I
Yeah.
freaked my shit out, and I was like, "Oh, hi, kitty cat."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he sits on my subwoofer under the desk, and I should have known it was him right away. But for some reason, just seeing two yellow globes,
because he has shine. Yeah,
it just
yeah.
freaked me out. But that's definitely not the scariest thing that ever happened to me. I'm just a jumpy person in general. In PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I'll be running around in the world or whatever, and I'll get shot at from the middle of nowhere, and I'll fucking jump in my chair.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yep.
Somebody else go first. I
You
really
need to think about this?
Yeah, I need to think about this.
Do you have one prepared?
Yes.
Do
Okay,
it.
go. Because
I
then I
have two. I think one of them you might have been there. I don't remember if it was you or someone else. But it must have been middle school-ish. Let's say 7th or 8th grade. And I was walking around my suburban neighborhood at night, and it was me, my buddy Lucas, and either Tyler or some other friend. And we're walking. There's kind of we were walking around my block, my suburban block, and as we were rounding, we were kind of the furthest point from my house, and this car is slowly driving behind us, staying right behind us, but driving, and not suburban street slow. They weren't going 25, 30 miles an hour. They were going barely pulling their foot off the brake to creep forward and stay behind us. And we kind of noticed it, and we were like, okay, we should just run forward for we should all just sprint for a little while and just get way ahead of this car.
No, I don't like this.
Oh, and the headlights were off. It was the middle of the night.
Oh, I don't like
And
this.
so the headlights were off. And then, so we were like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And we all just sprinted. And the car just speeds up and stays at its distance behind us. And we sprinted, I don't even know. I couldn't estimate how far. Maybe 4 driveways on a suburban thing, 4 or 5 driveways. And then we slow down again, and it slows down right behind us. And then we're all like, let's just look back at it. All 3 of us look back right now. So we all turn around. We all and they're like, that car hasn't been around for 50 years.
Whoa.
Sorry to derail.
No, we all look back, and the car pulls off onto the goes into the white line and just stops. Because we all stopped walking and looked back at it, and the car just pulled over and stopped. And then we started walking again, and it pulls back off and starts creeping behind us again. And luckily, we had made it to the point where if we ran through that neighbor's yard, it would have connected to my backyard, and we could have ran all the way through there. So we did that, and the car pulled up to where it could watch us run and stopped for a little while. And then after we kind of rounded the corner, we peeked around my house, and then we saw the car drive off. And it was really, really scary. And I don't know if it, realistically thinking back on it, it was probably just some high school kids playing a prank, thinking they were being funny or something
Maybe,
like that. But it was also really creepy because that's the kind of thing you would see in like a horror movie.
Exactly.
With
Yeah.
people getting kidnapped.
That's also something that you would hear like in the fucking news.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's spooky, dude.
Yeah. Got another one though.
That was me because I remember jumping your fence.
Was it you?
Yep. I remember running through the backyard and jumping that fence into your house and then going behind your shed.
I don't think you remember that because I don't have a fence.
The fence of your neighbor's yard, maybe?
Nope.
Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But
we
I remember
ran,
running.
there's like a wall of like trees that they had.
Oh, okay.
And we had to
Tyler.
like kind of duck under there and crawl.
You're thinking of when you broke into the country and climbed the fence.
Oh.
The wall, if you will.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
It's a dumb joke. God damn it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Story number 2. This was 10th grade, maybe, let's say. We could drive. So, 10th grade. Mm-hmm. And it was me and my buddy Jordan. And we were at this park called Vermilion, something like that.
Yep.
And we were walking, and there is a mental asylum nearby.
Never.
Which is already creepy.
Never.
And
a
this
good
was
start.
like 11:30 at night,
mm-hmm.
again around the middle of the night, and no one was there. And we're coming up, and this is like there's a paved path and a bridge, and then the paved path continues, and there's a bunch of like dimly lit streetlights that are kind of like path lights that are lighting that way. And most of them were out.
Just get out. Leave.
Right? It was really scary, but I didn't want to be like. My buddy Jordan is like very much a man's man, and I didn't want to like puss out, but otherwise I would have been like, we should go, we need to go right now. And we were from where we parked, we are on the opposite side of the park right now. And as we're going, we stop at like we're walking to the bridge, and there's a light on one side of the bridge, and the bridge maybe goes for like 100 feet or 200 feet. I don't know. I can't.
If I know distances.
Couldn't tell you. I can't just judge a distance by remembering it. And then there's another street light, and that one was like kind of doing like the horror movie flicker, where it's not like off, on, off. It's like yeah, it's just like that perfect amount. And there was no street lights in between, so whoever was there could see us. And then so we're standing there, and we look off, and there's like the shadowy figure that walks into the light. Just that little beam of like orange light. And it's just a black figure. We can't see. It's just a silhouette.
That's racial profiling.
That's why I had to say silhouette, but apparently I couldn't slide my way out of that one. And we just see like this figure was not walking. It did not walk into the light normally. It was like limped in. It was like this really creepy like monster limp though, where it's like it looked like one of its knees couldn't bend, and so it was like stumbled with the leg that could bend and then like swung the other leg over, like really, really creepy. And then we see, oh my god, like it's bringing back. I don't like remembering this. We see the hand kind of drop out, and it's holding what looks like a fucking 12-inch knife, like a big ass knife. And then we kind of stopped at the edge of the bridge, and so we're just us on one side, that thing on the other side, and we're just like what seemed like stared at each other for what could have been a year. Like I had no idea. It felt like it was so long. And then it takes a couple steps, and then just takes off into a dead sprint at us. It was so fucking scary. We turn, we bolt. We can't even see anything because there's no street lights on anymore. Like they were all fucking out for some reason. And we bolt off into this neighborhood, and kind of go into this cul-de-sac area. And we didn't know what to do. And there was one person with their garage door open, out working on their truck. And we run into his garage, and we're like, "We're really sorry. We know we don't know you. We're not really from this area, but." Like there's something there. We need to get out. And we didn't know there was a mental asylum on the premises. And he's like, we just need to be around someone right now. And he goes, yeah. It's not safe. I wouldn't want anyone to be out there around this time. Did you guys park in the parking lot for that area? And we were like, yeah, we did. And he goes, okay, get my truck. I'll drive you back to your car right now. We didn't know this guy. We had never met him before. And we were like, yep. That's the only thing we can do right now is get in that car and get driven over to our car because we are not going to walk through that park again. And as we're driving, he goes, "You boys know I usually carry a gun with me." And I was like, "Oh,
what the
God.
fuck?
He's going to kill us right now."
Yep.
He is that guy's
plotted.
partner.
Yep.
Yeah, he's that guy's partner. He's waiting to be the good savior guy. And then he wasn't. I'm alive. We're good. But it was so scary. And then that's when he explained
Tori
everything.
hasn't been alive for 50 years.
I just vanish. That's when he described like, yep, there's mental asylum. A lot of people have been known to like break out and wander the parks. It was really scary.
What the fuck?
It was
How
terrifying.
do you break out? That sounds like some horror movie shit. How do you
Where'd he
break
get the
out?
knife?
Glass.
And that's the
I don't
thing.
know.
It could have been something else, but I could swear to you, like, in my memory, it's crystal clear. And, like, at the time, I wasn't crazy because both of us were like, holy shit, he just pulled out a knife. Like, it was so clear what it was, but I have no, like, I'll never actually know what happened. But that has to be probably the scariest story.
Like, the more I think about it, like, the less I can think of scary things that happen to me because I just avoid situations like that. I don't go out at night. I'm a boring. Like, if anyone's like, "Hey, do you want to watch a horror movie?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Gotta stick to my good Christian values."
Oh, man. Woof. Yeah, I don't like horror movies. I don't like horror games. I mean, I played Resident Evil 7 in VR. That was scary,
Yeah, I bet.
but not real.
Holy shit!
That is. some
I'm
whole-
spooked right now. I'm scared that motherfucker's gonna walk around that corner.
Yep,
over
I'm
there.
scared of that every day. Tyler?
He's been following you.
Jesus shit.
Was it you?
Yeah. I just had a big trench coat.
Pranked, bitch.
Gotcha.
Scarred
You
for
have so
life.
much trauma. Ha ha.
I was gonna make a joke in the middle of it. I thought about like interjecting, like, and as soon as you ran away, Logan Paul turned to the camera and was like, "Ha, pranked, bitch."
Yeah. Fucking prank channel.
God, that's.
I can't even think of the name of a prank channel right
spooky.
now.
Like the only thing that is mildly comparable was like, I was, like 9, I think, and I remember hearing noises in a basement with my babysitter, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?" So we stayed upstairs, and I was terrified of it. And then when my parents come home, my dad was like, "There's nothing down in the basement." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "There's nothing down there. Come on." He grabbed me and like walked me downstairs, and I was just like, "No."
Yeah.
And then we walked over to where I thought I heard the sound, and there was a big scratch on the door. But like my dad told me that he had done that with the vacuum cleaner the day before.
That makes it way
Nice.
more lame. I was like, oh shit.
Exactly.
Here we go.
I was like, it's a big scratch. He's like, "I did that yesterday. Stop being scared." I'm like, okay. Like that's the only thing that I could think of that's comparable. Like I wouldn't mind seeing like a ghost or an apparition or anything like that.
I wouldn't mind as casual as it is.
If they're hot.
Yeah, as long as they were like
The ghost is hot. Yeah,
a good
I'd fuck it.
spirit, right? I don't want to get fucking chased down by a psychopathic murderer ghost. I want to be like, "Hey, shit, that's a ghost. How you feeling, buddy?" And then just have like a
He'd be,
conversation.
I'm fucking dead, so I don't feel. Pretty shitty of you to bring up.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm sorry to have offended you.
My wife left me.
hypothetical ghost man. Is there any way to like repair this relationship that we're forming? I want to know more about you.
I got a pretty mouth, boy.
Tyler, do you got any stories?
I have one that's just like so dumb, but it's so vivid to me because it was like the instant of just like, I'm going to fucking die here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it ends for me. It was when I was really young. I was probably 8 years old, I think. And it was at my old house. And I was laying in bed. Like it was like the middle of the night. It was probably like 3 a.m. or something. And I had just been kind of like tossing and turning, and I couldn't quite fall asleep. And then I'd finally fallen asleep. And then I woke up probably 20 minutes later, realistically. And I move my hand under my pillow to like readjust, and I feel something there. And it was just like, what is that? What the fuck is that? And then I like am like petrified for like a minute. And then I finally like bulk up the courage of just like, okay, put your hand under the pillow again. Like, see what it is. See if you can feel like what's underneath there. And then I do it, and it's a hand. Like, it's a human hand. And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, someone is next to me.
Oh,
like,
man.
someone is next to me. And then I'm really quiet.
Yeah.
And then I can hear someone breathing next to me.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, my God. And I'm turned the opposite way. So, like, I'm not looking where they're breathing. Like, it's behind me. And I'm just like, okay, you're just going to pretend you're asleep, and you're going to, like, turn around as if you did it in your sleep. So then I wait a few minutes, and then I, like, turn around as if I was, like, sleeping, just doing, like, a turn. And I turn around, and then there's someone's leg next to me. And I'm like, there's someone laying in bed next to me. Like, there is someone in my bed next to me. They're breathing. And then I'm like, okay. My light is on the other side of the room. So I'm like, I don't know why I thought turning on the light would help anything. Like, I should probably run for the door.
Turn it on, poof, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I wait a couple minutes. I'm like, okay. I do like a countdown for myself of just like,
Yeah.
on 3, you're running to the light. You're going to flip it on. And then it was like 1, 2. And I jumped out of bed. I ran to the light and I flipped it on and turned around. And it was my mom sleeping in my bed because she worked early mornings.
Hell yeah.
And her boyfriend at the time, who is now my stepfather who lives with us.
Hell yeah.
The fuck?
He was over and she worked early mornings and she liked to, apparently for years she had been doing this. She would get out of bed to then go like, to be like, oh yeah, I'm up, I'm going to work. And then she would like take a nap in my bed for like an extra 15 minutes so she could get some extra sleep without being like, someone being like, hey, you're going to be late for work. Hey, you got to get up. You're going to be late for work. Without having that. So she would come into my room and then take like an extra 20-minute nap and then get up and go to work. She had been doing that for years, I found out, and I never knew until that morning. And I was like, what the fuck, Mom? You can't do that shit.
The next time I see Kathy, let me tell you what.
She remembers that. She was just like, God, I loved that bed too. Like,
What the fuck?
because it was her old bed that she had.
Okay.
So she's just like, God, yeah, I didn't get to do it after that. Like, it was great for years. You just kept sleeping. I never woke you up. And I was just like, that's fucked up. Mom, do you realize that? And she's like, I mean, not really.
You gotta respect it.
So spooky.
You gotta respect it.
Holy shit.
That is fucking creepy.
Was spooked to the core.
Yeah.
Like, I thought someone had murdered my family and they were going to kill me next, but they laid down for a quick nap beforehand. You know, all that murdering is tired.
As serial killers do.
I think the other spooky thing that happens to me is I have a recurring dream.
Oh, no.
Every year at about the same time.
What?
Yeah, it's every December. I get a dream where I'm at my grandma's cabin, and this has probably been happening like every year since I was like 12.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't like this already.
Every single year I have this dream in December, and every year I'm like, oh no, I forget that it happens, and then it'll happen again, and I'll wake up just in a sweat because it's just like, holy fuck, it's so vivid.
I don't like
and
this
it's
at all.
the same every time.
No way.
So I'm at my grandma's cabin,
Yeah.
and it's like Christmas time. I've never celebrated Christmas at this cabin, like never been there during Christmas time. And there's like a Christmas party going on at my grandma's cabin. And how it's set up is there's 2 floors of it. It's like a cabin that was partially built by my grandpa. So the upper floor is kind of like, you know, constructed really weird, where it's just like there's really low hanging ceilings and everything, and there's like a weird crawl space in it. So we're all doing like a Christmas party thing. Everyone's talking, and then there's like Christmas music playing. There's fucking hors d'oeuvres, and I hear howling from outside. Oh. And I'm kind of closest to the front door, and this howling just keeps getting closer. And then eventually it becomes like the party kind of like quiets down, and everyone's like, are you hearing that? Like, that's so odd. There's a lot of wolves out or something right now, or coyotes. And then as everyone's kind of getting back to the party and talking, like these wolves break down the door of the cabin and they start eating my aunt. She's always the first one. She's always the first one gone. And I don't think I've ever told her this, but I've seen her
subconsciously know how Tyler feels about his aunt.
I've seen her get eaten by wolves about 10 times now.
Jesus.
And I like run up these steep stairs.
I'm sorry. How visceral is the imagery?
I'm explain that vocabulary.
How real does it seem?
Very.
How gruesome is it?
Like,
is it like, oh no, and then you like look away, or is it like you see her getting like limbs ripped off by these wolves?
not like limbs ripped off, but it's just like they like bite into her. Like I see her like get bitten into, and then I turn and run. And then I go up there's these really steep steps that I go to climb up. Like, I don't think you've ever been to my cabin.
No.
But it's seriously like the staircase, because it was built by my grandpa. It seriously is like, no joke, probably a straight line is a 90-degree angle.
Yep.
It is no joke, probably like an 82-degree angle.
Yikes.
Like, it is a fucking ladder more than anything.
Yeah.
And I like go up these like wooden staircases, and I fall, and then I like reach up the steps, and then I go into this crawl space. And by now, everyone in the bottom floor is being shred to pieces, and I can hear it. And then I'm like hiding and trying to like cover my breath and everything so they can't hear me. And then I hear this like kind of scraping going up the steps. And then I'm like hiding behind these like Tupperware crates and everything. And the wolf kind of like walks past. I can see his paws and everything. And he walks past, and then he walks, and then I like let out a breath. And then he like walks back, and he turns and looks at me, and I wake up.
This podcast brought to you by Tupperware.
Holy shit!
I shit you not.
Okay, I used to
every year.
Are you a little kid every time?
Yeah.
Oh
God damn! I used to subscribe to the thought that dreams were just random like electrical impulses from your body and your brain just trying to make sense of them while you sleep. But if you have that consistently every single year, that theory is fucking gone for me.
That is some weird dude. Like that's.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck.
That's super fucked up.
It's super fucking weird. It's just it's the strangest thing, and I keep trying to like every year when I have it, I always try and think like what is this trying to tell me? Like, what is the like, theme behind this?
And the events that happen the same way every single time.
Yes,
because that's like I don't necessarily believe in like higher power. We're here for a reason. We're special. All that kind of stuff. But like. There are, well, I mean, that's not the point, but like there are some really weird. That is weird.
It's a strange occurrence.
So I've had dreams. Like I had a nightmare. You know how you have dreams most nights, I would say, but you don't remember them by the time you wake up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I had this dream when I was young. I was really young, and I remember it so clearly. Like, it's one nightmare that I remember. So it's not as like real as that. It's like very much like once you wake up, you're like, oh, that will never ever happen in the history of anything. Like, there's not even a slight possibility of it ever happening. But it's so weird. That is like the one dream that I remember so clearly, and this was still when I was like. I was young enough where me and my brother were still sharing a room, and we had like beds, you know, like separate beds on each side of the room. And
gay.
And it was like a bunch of like they were dressed like Vikings, like Nordic Vikings. And it was just like skeletons that had come back to life, and they were like punching through the ground and like ripping out of there and stuff like that. And they were like invading the whole town with like axes and stuff like that. And they came into my house, and where I hid there was a door to my basement open. It was in this, like the dream takes place in this house, and the door to the basement was slightly open, and I crawled up and hid on top of the door, that little thin area. I was like hunched up there like a cat sleeping in the sun. And they were all like running past and like trying to like break through my house and like look for anyone in the house. And I was like, okay, great. They don't see me. And then they saw me sitting up on the fucking little top of the door. So what this weird Viking skeleton zombie thing did, rip the door off the wall and just smashing it into the ceiling. Just start smashing.
Brutal. My God.
Just pulverized me.
That is brutal.
And I remember
grotesque.
I remember waking up and running into my mom's bedroom and like jumping into her bed like in a sweat and crying my eyes out, so scared. Yeah.
I'm sorry to laugh so hard.
No, it's funny as hell,
that
but
imagery is just
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's another really weird thing about dreams is how like shape shifting they can be. Because like there's no possible way anyone can fit of any size, even as a kid, that can hang out on top of a door like a cat.
I know.
Right? Without breaking the fucking door down.
I get it. I know, all right? I'm an idiot.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. But like the dreams put you in weird states where like you just can do things in the world, right? Like I'll have dreams where I'm in one location talking to like, let's say I had a dream about this set. I'll be talking to Tyler at this set, right? And then I'll look away to do something, and I'll look back, and it'll be a completely different person, and then I realize my surroundings, and we're in a completely different place. Like in the span of just seconds.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Dreams are weird, my dude.
I mean, it's like that Inception scene where they're sitting at the cafe or whatever. They're like, how did we get here? You know,
Yeah.
you never start in the You've seen Inception, right?
Yeah.
It's like you never remember the beginning of a dream. You're always just there. They're so weird.
They are. They're such an odd phenomena, too.
Have you guys ever just like seen something like you see something and you're so sure you saw like someone creeping outside your house or something like that, like or like been walking down the hallway or something like that in the night and see like you're so sure you saw something there, like you could have swore you saw like some curtains moving and you're like, I saw him brush that and they were moving, like, you know what I mean? Where it's like no one was there. There's no way anyone could have been there, but part of you still like maybe it was something.
It's a weird thing with your brain.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like trying to understand that portion of it is just like, I wonder like what made me think of that image, or like, because there's got to be something you saw in that day, or like something you had seen that had like come back to your memory.
Sorry, I just can't get the smashing out of my head.
Just fucking.
I can't.
Just Tori's red paste on the ceiling. All that remains is like his hair just falls like a toupee to the floor.
It's like a full wig.
Sorry, continue.
Oh man.
But yeah, just like dreams in general are like a cool thing to try and think about and like understand, is like what made us think of this, or why did our mind show us this image? Because at some point it's like, oh, it's just like electrical impulses and everything. But then it's cool to think of like, am I being sent a message from space?
Yeah.
I have one that.
Am I picking up radio frequencies that are fucking with my head?
Oh, that'd be. Oh, I don't like thinking about that at
Yeah, I
all.
don't like
Think about Wi-Fi. Maybe it does something
No.
when it's in the air.
Nope.
Maybe it reacts to our brains a certain way.
Nope.
Oh.
I have a dream that I remember.
Yep.
It's not scary or spooky or anything.
A dream of a better world. Let's recycle, guys.
I thought you were gonna go on some. Like,
I thought you were gonna
Today's
be like,
episode is
I
brought
thought
to you by
were gonna go with, like,
recycling.
I have a dream.
Famed inventor
I thought racism.
John Recycling.
John Recycle. Yeah.
So my dream, I had this dream in freshman year, or somewhere around there. No, it was my 8th grade year, and I was dreaming of my 6th grade homeroom. I was just
I thought you were about to say I'm dreaming of my 6th grade teacher. Like hell yeah.
no, we're in my 6th grade homeroom, right? And we're just hanging out, studying or whatever, and then all of a sudden over the intercom we hear like, "Attention students, there's an intruder in the blah," right? And we're all like, "What the fuck?" And then I shit you not, Master Chief from Halo kicks down the door and is like, "Hey kids, there's some elites in the building." We're like, "Yay!" And he threw Master Chief. Yeah, he threw
Tosses you a rifle. He's like, let's pwn some
He
news.
tosses you a fucking like energy sword.
Literally, yes, that's what happened.
Oh my god, yes.
And like we went around the school just fucking killing aliens. This the 6th grade class.
Nice.
All of a sudden, the Power Rangers show up and start helping killing the elites or whatever. The Covenant abducted one of my least favorite teachers at the end of the day, so it was a good day. And then the janitor just got a raise for cleaning up all the alien blood.
He deserves one.
Wow.
He's just like angrily mopping. I've seen a lot of shit.
It's like,
but I'll tell you what, this is the shittiest of the shit I've seen.
It's like one dream that really sticks out to me.
It still doesn't clean up. It still doesn't even compare to that mess back in '84.
The noodle incident.
Oh man. I thought that was gonna go much scarier. It ended up being pretty heroic.
No, it was real fun. I guess it's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't like scary, so I think
I don't know. I don't either.
Yeah,
I
think
hate
my
scary
brain
games. I
just-
hate scary movies.
I think my brain just like actively represses like scary things that have happened to me,
Yep.
so I don't recount them.
Yep.
Absolutely. My brain absolutely represses really embarrassing shit that I've
That
done.
too.
Because then like I'll be showering and I'll just be like shampooing, I'll be fucking singing along, and then all of a sudden, oh God,
Yeah.
I did this in
Yeah.
5th grade. And then you're like,
Yep.
Yep.
why the fuck did I do that?
My-
And then you're like, I wonder if anyone else remembers that. Like they're in the shower too. They're like, remember when that fucking weird kid did it?
Yeah, I try
Oh,
to
man.
I try to not remember like late 8th grade to late 11th grade. No,
I remember
early
like
11th
one
grade.
moment like really vividly that happened in elementary school of just like
Go on.
a panic of just like really embarrassing. Like sometimes it'll come back to me because it's just the most pure elementary thing to do. Like I was at recess in like 4th grade, and this girl that I really had like this huge crush on in 4th grade, like I thought she was so pretty and everything. And I was hanging out by the slide, like on the top of the slide, like I just climbed up, gonna go down the slide or whatever, like hanging out up there, looking around, doing recess things. I don't fucking know what you ever did at recess.
Mm-hmm.
Really, what was the goal? Like, what was ever your goal at
You were
recess?
hoping a pretty girl would kick you.
My school
some
had some
shit.
goals, but I'll get into that later.
We were just I don't know, recess shit. You know that recess shit. And
Coming this summer.
and I'm on that platform, and then I don't even remember what she said, but this girl spoke to me. Like, she said words in my direction. And, like, I had this moment of, like, freezing of just, like, is this happening? Mm-hmm. Like, this girl is speaking to me. And then I was just like, I froze up, had no idea what to do. This girl had just said something to me. I looked at her dead in the eye and just like a shocked look, like just like I looked at her in disbelief as if she had just told me the secrets of the universe and like my mind couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. I just like stared at her like in a panicked look, and then I just like jumped down the slide. I said nothing. I did nothing. I literally like looked at her panicked. And then I went down the slide, and the last I ever spoke of her, like literally never looked at her again.
One time I was in 5th grade. I remember it clear as day, Mr. Duncan's class. And in the back of our room...
He touched kids.
Wow.
He didn't. He was a really nice guy.
No, he touched kids. His name is Mr. Duncan. Go on.
I know you're watching, Mr. Duncan.
He's like,
no.
yeah, I got an expansive collection of child porn.
In the back of our room...
What the fuck
Where
just
he
happened?
took pictures of you guys?
No,
Nope.
Tyler.
In the back of the room, we had a water fountain, and I got up out of my desk and I was walking to the water fountain, and it's kind of low. It's made for young kids and stuff like that. So I bend over to get a drink of water. The most comical fart I've ever had lasted, I swear to God, like 8 seconds. Just
I
like
love how farts now, like at our age, like you can fart in class and someone will look at you and they're like, nice. But like
they're just like, I know that feel, man.
they look at you and they're like, Chipotle, and you're like,
You're like,
oh yeah.
And this was like a straight up like. And then I like stood up, turned around, and everyone in the class was like staring back at me. And then I was like, sorry. Everyone burst out laughing at once, and I could feel like how hot I was from like nervousness and just being so embarrassed. And then just a cherry on top, people, like all the guys in class, started getting up and coming over to smell it.
It's pretty gay.
Like, if you get fucking pink eye.
At least you did that in 5th grade, whereas I did that in 7th grade.
Oh, man.
I had, like, you know those crates underneath the desk that like hold your books, like those metal things underneath the desk?
I know where you're going with this.
I was in class and I was already a nerdy fucking 7th grade.
Yeah,
Tori can
you
attest
were.
to this.
You really was.
I was the ugliest fucking kid. I was just ugly. Like, I'm not even saying that it's like, oh, I was an ugly kid. Ha ha ha.
For our audio
I'm not joking.
He was ugly.
I was ugly.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners, Tori just about threw up his
Yeah,
beer.
I almost
Just
puked.
like when I said the word ugly, he remembered what I looked like, and he was just like, yeah.
wireframe glasses, that
Short,
Hooter
dorky-
shirt you wore every day thinking it was hot shit.
Oh, yeah.
Bermuda shorts. Okay.
Bermuda shorts, and I had like fucking bent over to pick up my history textbook underneath the crate. Like, I was just sitting up, and then I like bent over and then just fucking let loose the biggest fart this side of the Mississippi has ever heard. I'm pretty sure it fucking caused an earthquake in Japan. Like, this shit not only caused an earthquake in Japan, it caused an earthquake in like 1884. Like, it went back.
Transcended time. A wrinkle in time. This summer.
It was the loudest fart. And I'm not even saying that as like, oh, it's my embarrassing story, so I got to hype it up. It was so loud. The class stopped. And it was so loud that even the teacher made fun of me.
Oh, no.
Mr. Ryder, I remember.
No! Mr. Ryder?
Mr. Ryder even stopped, and he was like laughing at me. He then stopped the class to make fun of me. He stopped the class to then
man.
like sympathize with the girl who sat behind me.
Wow.
And like, she was so nice about it. Like, she like never brought it up. We went to high school together and everything. Like, we talked sometimes in high school. She was so nice to where she never brought it up ever again.
Wow.
And like, every time I talked to her, I had that thought in my mind of like,
She knows.
probably, it's literally like, she knows.
Oh my god. You have to tell me off air who that was.
Wow.
It was bad. It was so, because like
Was she
sometimes I'll
cute?
think of, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, fuck,
No,
dude.
no.
Yep.
Woof.
It was bad.
Holy shit.
Oh, God. Farts, man. Like, something about him. It's just so...
Yeah, whereas now I can be like, if I'm like sleeping in a bed and I'm like with someone, like a significant other,
I'll Dutch oven this shit out of him.
exactly. Then I can like fucking yeah, I'm gonna fart. Even if it's like a first date, I'm farting under the covers and I'm like trapping them in that shit.
Like, how early on now I'm just okay with like, look, we're watching a movie at my house. We ate some Papa John's. I'm gonna fart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's gonna happen. Let's
Or
get
just-
this out of the way now. If you're not cool with it,
I wasn't cool with this for the longest time, but now I'm so comfortable with just like at anyone's house, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a shit. Like, absolutely.
you were really against that for a long time.
Oh yeah, for the longest time. And then I kind of realized like I had a fear of public bathrooms, not like being in one, but it was
Yeah,
just
me
like
too.
if I had to poop, I was like in high school, I was leaving to go home
Yep.
to poop.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was driving home. Like I told my English teacher.
You
a
did
couple
not live
times.
close.
No, I told my English teacher, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and poop. I'll be back. And then she was like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Before I came here to the podcast, Jay and I had dinner, and we're cuddling on the couch, and
You pooped on her.
No, and they were like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. Get off." And I'm like, in a joking manner, I was like, "No," and they're like cuddled in closer, and then they ripped the dankest fart on
Yeah,
me.
hell yeah.
Yeah, it made me real mad. And then
You got to watch out for pink eye.
I sat up.
Tumors.
I sat up in a dejected manner, like, fine, fucking go. And as they were shimmying past me, they farted again in my face. And then moved on. I was so mad. I'm still mad about it.
I like walking upstairs in front of people. He's crop dusting the shit out of them.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Really embarrassing shit like stopped kind of in like senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Like things stopped being
Because you
embarrassing.
just own it now.
Yeah, because then you just knew to own it and then no one would ever bring it up. Because I remember like walking up the stairs and doing the stereotypical nerd thing. Like I didn't have my backpack and I tripped up the step and everything just fucking flew all over the place. And all I did, I seriously like, I just looked at it and I was like, I can either be nerdy as fuck or I can just own this.
You're like, oh, my calculator.
Yeah, no. And then I just like crawled like to where all the papers were and I just like laid on my back in all of the papers and I just like laid there for like 20 seconds just like defeated.
I had a similar experience. I was walking home from my Japanese class on campus.
You
and
fucking weeb.
Yeah. There was a...
They had Japanese?
Yeah, they still do, I think.
Are Japanese people still a thing?
Anyway,
I thought we got rid of them.
There was a path in the snow. Oh, no.
Twice.
V-Day, boys.
God, I love America.
Fucking hell.
Explosive victories, to say the least.
There was a path in the snow, and I was walking through it, and I slipped and fell on my back, and it was during mingling, like, class change period, right? So everyone's outside and stuff, right? And I slipped and fell on my back, and I just started maniacally laughing and looking up at the sky, and some dude bro was like, hey, man, you all right? I'm like, yeah.
I love Suicide Squad.
What?
What?
The scene of the Joker just like laying down amongst the knives and maniacally laughing.
Oh my God.
The worst scene.
Dude, that was a bad movie.
I haven't seen it. I probably won't see it.
Do yourself a favor and don't.
Yeah, don't. It's
not even like enjoyably bad. It's
See,
just
that's
bad.
the thing
It's
about me not
fundamentally
watching
bad.
movies either. Like, if a movie comes out that everyone's hyped for and it sucks, I never saw it in the first place.
Except if it's Star Wars.
That. I'm just kidding.
I
want to watch more movies. We should go out and watch movies together.
yeah, there's nothing good out right now.
Right now? Nothing? Well, I guess it is after the Oscars.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but we will.
We'll
go see
Who are
something.
the big winners?
The Shape of Water won best film, but
Or as Twitter called it, Grinding Nemo.
I
That's good. I haven't seen it, but I know it's about fucking fish.
I very much disagree with that. It was like an okay movie,
Okay.
and it won like everything.
I read something today. I want to cut in really quickly because I read something today that explained a lot of like, it put things into perspective when we talk about movies and you're like, no, I disagree. I didn't like that. Like, I don't think it excuses it or whatever. Because I'm more of like, I read something where someone said the meaning behind the movie doesn't excuse the execution of it. Like, just because something had great meaning doesn't excuse the execution of like how poorly it could have been done.
Yeah.
And then I like sat and I thought on it and I was like, yeah, because when I think of movies, I don't even really remember like specific scenes or anything. It's more of just like what I was left with. And then I think like, oh yeah, I get the meaning behind that. And I don't really think of it as like the actual picture that I just saw.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you do it, you're more of like, no, this is the movie that I just saw.
Yeah.
Like this is the picture of.
I look at a lot more of like the technical side of it.
Technical stuff.
Whereas, I'm not like attuned to like, and it's not even like being attuned to it. It's more of just like, oh, this is like, it's not necessarily about the movie that I'm watching. It's more about like, okay, what does this like mean to me? Right now?
Yeah.
So it's more of just like, so when we disagree on things, that kind of put it into perspective for me. It's just like, oh, okay, now I kind of see that point more. It's like, yeah, I saw the meaning, but then if I think about it, it was poorly executed, but I can get over it. Whereas I think you look at it and you're like, no, that doesn't excuse it. Like, the meaning was great, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Tori. Yep, I'm in the same boat as Tori, where I like to really, break
Whereas
down.
I just like applying it to like every other thing and thinking about it like a different, like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then I can kind of take that and bring it here. Whereas like, I don't even necessarily think about the movie that I saw afterwards. It's more of just like, oh yeah, like, I mean, this is a really cool thought.
Yeah, this is what it meant or something like that. This is what they were going for or something like that. Yeah.
Well, we've rambled on for an hour.
We have.
It was fun.
It was. It was scary.
Yeah, we talked about spooky things. We talked about dreams.
Yep.
D&D, and then movies. It seems like a typical podcast for us, just talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Shooting the shit.
Yeah.
It's about wrap up time.
Yeah.
So our timer is going off.
Bazinga.
That's our timer.
There we go.
Okay.
Now it's about wrap up time.
It's the call of the end times.
Yep.
The call of the end time.
That's
The
what we'll
horn
hear when
signaling
the
the
world is
apocalypse.
on fire.
Yep.
Well, this has been Baseless Claims, our bi-weekly casual talk fest, like I said earlier. Again, if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, go ahead and leave it down in the description below on this YouTube video, or a comment on SoundCloud, Google Play, wherever you can find it, wherever you're listening to it. We appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
We invite you to be a part.
Exactly.
Of the
Yeah.
podcast. You should be kind of sitting here with us. It's like you're talking.
Yeah.
You're
And
shooting
we
the
just
shit with us. Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be talking. Maybe you don't want to like.
You're
have
gonna seem like a
conversation.
crazy person in your
Yeah.
car.
So when someone drives up next to you, they're not just like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
We adore.
So sorry, Taylor.
It's okay. We adore every interaction that we have.
Absolutely.
Whether it be, in comments, or anything like that, but especially on Twitter. We get really into Twitter. You can see the whole Zodiac Killer saga if you go to our Twitter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you follow us
I know
on
your
Twitter and
secret.
everything. There's no secret.
Hey, FBI. We know who the Zodiac Killer is.
Thank you for watching or listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.